Hi everyone, Katie here. Welcome back to another scrapbook layout. Today I'm working with two photos. One is of my puppy when we went hiking and rock climbing at Red River Gorge, and the other is a picture of the place we were climbing. So I start out with two pieces from crepe paper. I don't remember exactly which paper pad it came from, but they're very colorful and very festive. I go ahead and cut 1 inch off either side of this geometric pattern paper, and I mat it down on that pink paper. I really like how colorful this is, and I think it kind of, I don't know, to me it kind of had an outdoorsy vibe, so I thought it went with my photos. So I like how I'm nestling them together, and I'm just trying to think, okay, what do I want on this layout? I know I want to mat my photos, and I just so happen to have this nice piece of navy blue cardstock left over from a recent layout, and it works perfectly to mat my two photos on. I just do a really skinny little mat just so that you can highlight the photos just a little bit. I really like this. It's almost just like giving it that extra pop, even though it's not like a huge mat. And you'll see in this layout, I try a whole bunch of things on the layout that ultimately don't work out. My layout did not turn out the way that I originally thought it would, but I'm really happy with it. So I try 3 different vellum sheets. I thought I'd want some vellum to go behind the photos, but ultimately I decided all of them were just a little too busy for that pattern paper. So I go ahead and take my weathered wood distress oxide, and I just use the packaging technique to get some of the ink on my paper. I will say if I had to do it over again, I would not have added quite as much water. It took forever to dry. I did skip that part of me using my heat gun to dry it all. But ultimately, I do like the effect that it gave, so I would have done that before I added my paper, put my papers together, and done it with a little less water. But that's okay, it all works out. I'm trying to use my smaller pads. I have a 6x8 Dear Lizzie pad that I try. I only have 3 papers left, so I don't have many options there. I really want to get something else on this layout to go behind my photos. I do like this Basil Basics cardstock 6x6 pad that I have. It has gold foiling on every single one of the pages, and I think this was, while still a bold design, more subtle than another big print. And of course, I needed a little bit of shine in my layout. So I go ahead and stick that down. I use my Tombow adhesive because I think that'll stick a little better to the kind of warped paper from my mixed media earlier. Of course, while I'm doing this, my Tombow tape runner runs out of adhesive. So I do just go ahead and use my Herma mounting squares instead to finish it off. And it seems to have stuck pretty well. I can't complain about that. So as you can see, I just quickly reload that Tombow because I use that all the time, as I do with my Herma. And now I'm starting to think about my little journaling box. We are lucky enough to go outside and climb at Red River Gorge often, so I don't need a giant journaling box. I just use this little scrap that is left over from the photo mats that I did earlier. I read a little bit of journaling about how we went outside to this new place. Kip got to play with another dog there, and he loved it. He really likes hiking throughout the day and smelling all the smells outside in nature. So we really enjoyed this day. I want to add just that little journaling card, and I like how I nestle it underneath my I guess, extra matte, that kind of khaki and gold. I try to make sure it's offset from both the photo mat and the khaki and gold paper. I think it just looks a little better, and I like it that way. Now I am using some of my favorite new stickers. They are Heidi Swap puffy stickers. I'm using one that says Discover. These were the best deal ever. I got them with the Michaels sticker clearance. I paid $1 for them, and I bought two. I love them so much. They are awesome. So I have Discover, and then I used my Cricut to cut out the words South Park. That's the name of the area we went to. It was our first time going there, so it seemed appropriate to put that there. I used my little Xyron X to add some sticky to the back of my letters that I cut out with my Cricut. Again, this was just the last little scrap from the mats that I made, and I was able to cut out the words South Park. I go ahead and I do park first, even though it's the second word, because I wanted to make sure it ended exactly where I wanted it to end. I really like how the letters are overlapping both the khaki cardstock and the busy background patterned paper. So far I really like my layout. I'm just wanting to add a little bit of embellishment. So I add just one of those cute little heart puffy stickers down at the bottom of my journaling, and now I'm going through so many stickers. I was lucky enough to find a ton of stickers on the Michaels clearance sale, and now I've just got a lot to choose from, so it takes me a little longer to add all of my embellishments. I did really like this Amy Tangerine from her Picnic in the Park collection, that little flag with the heart on the end, that yellow one. I thought that kind of highlighted the yellow that is in the pattern paper that I hadn't really played off of much at all so far. I also add this little frame around that heart. It is not framing it completely. It is from a summer collection from Echo Park. So obviously this happened in the fall. It didn't happen in the summer, but I'm using so many bright colors that I thought it worked pretty well. That little yellow tag is also from the Echo Park ephemera set, and again, it's summery. It kind of has flowers on it, but it plays off the yellow, and I think it's subtle enough that it works. So it has a naked tag hole, which I did not want to have. I went ahead and put a sparkly light blue brad through that, and I put a little bit of washi tape here on the back of the brad just to make sure it will go in and out of my album nicely. And I am looking to add a little bit more embellishment, so I have my box full of stickers that I get out, and I pick out a few that I think I might want to use. Enamel dots, those cute little puffy cameras, and I get out these puffy heart stickers that I have as well, and any layout that I have with my puppy in it. I'm trying to add at least one little paw print, so I get out those stickers. Not nearly all of these end up on the layout by any means. But I did like this one. Now, the little click, I don't really care for the words so much, but I did like how the blue went with the rest of the layout, so I went ahead and added that and nestled it right on top of that little tag. I tried to add some enamel dots, but all of those just didn't really work out for me. I wasn't loving them. So I go ahead and I do grab my Jelly Roll white pen and make just a little doodly white border around the entire layout on my pink border paper. And while it's hard to see in this video, I do like what it adds. I think it's a nice little pop. And finally, to finish off my layout, I use two different sprays to do little splatters. I use my Delusions spray ink in the color Vibrant Turquoise, and then I also use my Heidi Swap Color Shine, and this is in the color Ocean. I do just a little bit of both of them, and I really like how it turns out. Unfortunately, I had a hard time getting this one open, but ultimately, I was able to do it, and I really like how it turns out here. So after I go ahead and mist this, then I am finished with my layout. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.